So this is the pedestal sink that we currently have, and it's coming out, obviously. So what we have to think about now is the pipes in the back, because you obviously have your two water connections here for hot and cold, and then you have your drain pipe right there. So we're using an old dresser, and an old dresser obviously isn't built for a sink. So what we're gonna have to do is cut a hole out of the back of the dresser, so it'll allow us access to these pipes, so we can make our connections, and obviously make any repairs if anything should go wrong with a leak or something like that. So you just need to make sure you have access. So what we're gonna do is measure where these are in relationship to the wall. We'll get a general idea, and then we're gonna have to cut a hole out of the back of the dresser. Now it's also gonna create some problems with our drawers, our dresser drawers, because obviously once we do that, we're gonna have to have room for our drain pipe coming down and into the wall there. So we're gonna have to cut out a couple of the drawers and create kind of a U shape in the drawers, and we'll show you a little bit more in a little bit. But just looking at the wall right now, that's what we're doing, is taking some quick measurements to find out how it is from the floor up and from wall to wall, so we'll get a general idea about where we have to cut out the back. So we're gonna do that now. Yeah, so taking a look at the back here, we were figuring this is all one piece of wood back here, and then we would have to cut our hole out here, but these are actually some paneling boards here, so this whole one in the middle section is one whole piece here. So yeah, we can just pop this one off and we won't have to worry about cutting it all out. So
yeah, they're like a tongue and groove almost or something.
Yeah.
That's pretty cool.
That's good. But if you did, if this was one whole piece back here, you obviously still would have had to do your measurements, and then you could just find the center of it, measure out, and then just use like a scroll saw or something and cut your square out. But yeah, that'll work out well.
We got lucky.
It did. All right, let's take it off.
Yay! It was quicker than we expected. Look at that.
Quick and easy.
Yahoo!
So we have to measure their pipes. 38, so 19 is center. That's dead center.
Mm-hmm. How many inches do we need? We need at least 9 to 10 inches.
So yeah, that gives us almost 11-inch gap right there, which is
It's perfect.
exactly what we need.
Better to have more than less, huh?
Yeah. And considering this is going to be back up against a wall and there's drawers in the front, obviously you're never going to see this when you're in the bathroom, so you don't have to worry about it looking pretty or anything. So this worked out well.
That's awesome. So now we just need to figure out, now we can move on to the drawers and start cutting out the drawers, right?
That's correct. What we'll need to do, since there's 3 drawers, we need to figure out what's the highest point on here where our pipe is going to come down, because that'll tell us how many of the drawers we have to actually cut out. So I'm hoping that maybe we only have to do 1 or 2 of these to take into account the drain pipe. But
So what you're saying is that we get to unwrap our new sink that we're putting on top of this?
if that's what you want to do, you can do that. You can't see it right now, but she's dancing. That's why the camera is shaking.
All right, let's unwrap the sink.
So, okay, I'm gonna just pull out some of these nails here, and then yeah, we'll take a look.
Here is our new sink. We got this at Lowe's. I think it was like a little over $100. This comes with the sink, obviously, and then we had to get a new faucet because the faucet that's currently in the bathroom, it's not going to work with these 3 holes. And then also we got this faucet. I think again maybe around $100 at Lowe's, and this is what it looks like. Here's the sink. We just put it on top of the dresser. I think it's gonna look really cute on there. And I'll have a little bit of a lip up front and then be tucked all the way back to the mirror. Well, basically the wall of the back of the mirror. Whatever.
So I took the nails out where the existing nails were just sitting in there, and I just noticed some of the boards that were on the end are a little wobbly. Again, you're not going to see it or worry about it really, but since I got a nail gun here, I'm just going to pop a few nails in it just to kind of secure it up a little bit. Not quite necessary, but something just to hold it together anyways. Good. Alright, so we did a little calculating here and figured out with the sink sitting on top here how far down the bottom drain pipe is going to come, and we already knew our measurement from where it came out of the wall. So just looking at those two together, we figured out that we're only going to have to cut out the back sides of the top two drawers, which is a good thing. Save some time. So this whole bottom drawer, we don't have to make any kind of alterations to it at all because it's not going to get in the way of any of the pipes, and it's not going to block anything from reaching the wall. So we're only going to have to notch out the top two drawers of this. So that's the next step we're going to start working on, is showing you how to cut out a notch. All right, instead of having to measure everything out, the wife came up with a brilliant idea and said, why don't we just put the drawers back in, and then we can just score a line where the edges are that we know we can that we have to cut out. So that's what we're doing. We put the drawers back in, and then we're just kind of putting a straight edge in here and eyeballing it. Doesn't have to be perfect, but we're going to mark out on the drawers where we need to cut out. So essentially what we're going to be doing here is cutting this piece off, right? Because we need access to the drain pipes and the water hookups. So we're cutting these out. This piece will be gone, and then we're going to create a U shape on the inside of the drawer to allow for access to the pipe and to allow it to fit. So that's what we're doing. So now we have quick score lines. We could take it out, cut the back sides off, and show you how to build the U's on the inside.
So now we're trying to figure out how deep we need the U to be in the dresser. So we went ahead and, let me flip you around. So we figured out where the center of the dresser is going lengthwise, and then how far back we need to go for the drain of the sink. So we put the second drawer in, and since it doesn't come all the way back to the back of the dresser, we decided that we were going to take and just drill a small hole into the top of the dresser, and then we'll be able to figure out how deep we need to go here. And it's okay to put a hole in the dresser because a lot of this is going to be cut out to have the sink resting in. This is how you're measuring. We thought we had a dowel to stick down there, and we don't, so we're just going to use a piece of string. We got to go in and through there, and then we're just going to kind of make a mark.
So we know the center of the drain pipe is going to come down to about here, but your pipe is usually 1.5 inches wide, so we're going to have to make sure we come out at least another 3/4 of an inch, or maybe even more, just to give yourself a little leeway. So we can probably, cut out to the middle of this drawer, which is 14 3/4. So we can go, 7 and 7.5, and that'll give us enough play when we build our U. So that way we're not running into any trouble when we go to put the drawers back in and realize that we made it too short. So that's how we're going to figure out how deep we have to go. Now we know how deep we need to go, and we know how big the sides are. So now we can mark everything out and cut it out for the structure. So now we have everything marked out, and this is what we're actually going to be cutting out. The next step is to get the saw out, cut everything out, and be able to start building or reframing it on the inside. So now we got everything marked out, we're gonna actually cut it out now. You can use like a jigsaw if you have one, even a circular saw will do, but that's a pretty big tool for the job. But we have this Dremel Saw Max. It's pretty cool, and if you got little projects that you like to do, it's a good saw, handy. It's a lot smaller than a circular saw, and it does the job. And this adjusts so you can go up to depths of about almost an inch. So, but good little tool to have if you do a lot of projects. But like I said, you could use jigsaw if you wanted, but I had this just sitting there, so I figured I'd grab this and use this. So here we go. Smell that?
I do.
It smells like antique wood.
Yeah, it does. Smells like the antique store.
Yeah. There we go. Gonna clean out that one little hole right here, right the corner. But
It's a really nice cut, and this actually you can just plunge it down in, like we showed you on the video. So you don't have to, if you're using a jigsaw, you don't have to like drill a hole to get your jigsaw in there. Now all you have to do is just kind of clean up the edges a little bit, sand it off, and you're good to go.
And so hopefully you can see now what I was trying to talk about earlier when we were talking about cutting it out and having a U shape in here. We could put the drawers back in there just like that, but it doesn't have a lot of structural integrity. It's still a little wobbly. So we plan on using this for storage space, so we don't want the bottoms to fall out. So we're just gonna take some wood and build just a U shape here and staple everything, nail everything together. So it holds nicely, and actually it finishes the drawers out a little bit, makes them look a little nicer on the inside. So that's our next step. We got some plywood right here. We got this board. This is a 1/2 inch plywood. We decided to get one that's got the nice face on it, so it's not too rough, because we have kids and they're gonna be reaching in and out of the drawers, and we didn't want to worry about splinters or anything like that. So we got the one that's got the nice face on it and it's not rough. So what we'll do is take this, and we're gonna have to cut it down. We're gonna have to rip it on our table saw to the width of the back here. So then we can rip it down, and then we'll cut pieces and put everything together, glue it, nail it, and our drawers will be done and ready to go. So that's what we're gonna do next. We're gonna cut down this board on the table saw. So this is our table saw that we use. It's not a heavy duty one, but it's also not just a regular tabletop one. But it's very good for the projects that we use it for. We like it because it's foldable and it's got these wheels on it, so it doesn't take up a lot of space in your garage. So whenever we're done, it folds up and you can wheel it around inside your garage, outside, whatever you want to do. So this is one we use. We like it. Like we said, it's not a heavy duty one, but it always works for the projects that we need. So yeah, run it outside, and what I'm going to do now is just measure everything out and start cutting the board. Alright, so with our U here, we're going to put the sides in first, because when we put the front piece on, we want it to cover up our exposed edges from the two sides, so that way we'll have a nice clean looking front. So that's what we're going to do now. We're going to measure the spaces here, how much we need. Cut those on the saw, and then we will measure our front piece and put that on for the U. Okay, so we got the two side pieces in there, and now we cut the front face. Just putting a little bit of wood glue on there. Hold everything in place. And then we'll put it down in there and staple it in. It's a nice staple job.
Thanks. I can't get down in there, so it's fine, because I can always staple from up here.
That's good. Gives me a good shot here to show everybody what the shape looks like.
Yeah. And it'll be perfectly fine because the wood glue is going to do mainly the work. The beads or the brad nails are just there to kind of hold it in place till the wood glue dries. So there it is, it's the drawer. So it's nice and clean on the inside. You pull it out, you'll see this, but it's not going to be any big deal because it's still going to look nice, and then you can put all of your stuff around it. Okay, so now we have all the drawers back in, and you can see we have all the recessed areas cut out now, the back of our drawers. So this was what all the drawers were like, but now you can see we have all this open space in here for the sink drain to be able to come down. We'll have our trap down here, and it's going to come into the wall. So we left plenty of space in here, plenty of clearance, so we're going to be good. We'll be good to go. So the next step that you're going to see in our video is how to cut out the top. We'll put the sink in. We'll also put a clear coat on everything to protect it. And then the last piece is just getting it into the bathroom and hooking everything up. So that's going to be in the next video. Alright, and this is what the drawers look like in the inside. So when you pull them out, you're clearly going to see this little box in here. But it's alright, you still have a whole lot of storage space. This is only going in a half bath. So we don't require too much. And being that we get to have an antique dresser for a bathroom sink, I don't care about losing that little tiny space. So that's the top drawer. Here's the middle drawer, same thing. Still a lot of space. And then we have the whole bottom drawer. Okay guys, I hope you enjoyed our video.
Yeah, we got a lot done today, and hopefully you learned a little something about how to cut out the drawers and you know, customize it when you want to put your own sink in there. So it wasn't too bad. It's just a little bit of measuring, a little bit of cuts, but again, not very hard, and it's coming along pretty good.
Yeah. So if you haven't done so already, please subscribe and hit that notification bell because we have a lot more series that we're going to go through to install this sink.
Yeah, hopefully you're liking these. Let us know.
Yeah.
You know, leave us a comment.
Ask questions. Do you have any questions?
Yeah.
Suggestions?
Yeah, we'd love to hear from you.
Or even a thumbs up.
Yeah. So the next video, hopefully we'll be able to finish everything up. Really, we just have to cut out the hole for the sink. We'll have to put a probably at least one coat of clear coat on it because it is going into a bathroom, so there'll be water and moisture, so you want to make sure this is protected. And then really the last thing to do is just hook up all the sink drains and the lines, and we're good to go.
I'm so excited.
I'm excited.
It's my very first dresser sink.
I know.
I'm
coming along
excited.
pretty good.
Yeah.
It's good. So hopefully stay tuned, and we'll see you next time.
Bye everyone.
Bye.
So now we're getting ready to figure out how deep we need the YouTube be.
Excuse you? I mean, seriously? Oh. You're so childish.
So anyway, we need to figure out how deep. Oh my God, what are you doing?
Come on.
I did try it 4 times. Yeah, I would probably come back to like this line right. No, I know. I would probably come back to here just to give it a little bit of. Yeah, that looks good. All right, perfect. Who needs a measuring tape? That's all you gotta do. That's not even measuring once. Now we're gonna cut.
Hope your string is accurate. Turns around.
You just made a nipple.
It is a nipple.
That's okay.
It's always
Keep
nipples.
going. Just make it a S. Then it's a bunghole. Don't.
So
Okay, make it
like
fair. Yeah.
I'll edit it out.
It's absolutely mandatory to do that with every tool before you start using it.
That's what you're supposed to do. It's in the directions.
See if it works. All right, let's do it.
Yep. Alright, in the background there. Hold on, you need me to get something in the basement?
Honey, come back upstairs. Can you turn the video off, please?
Looks like Homer Simpson's pants. Hero. I see
Timmy and Susie.
Sophie sees another dog. Catching some rays there, Sophie? Damn sawdust.
Yeah, makes your nose all looking weird.
Snoring, it makes me sound like I'm like doing drugs in
Drug
these
dealer.
videos.
Cocaine's a hell of a drug.
Yeah.
Sawdust is a hell of a drug.
Yeah. Put our new sick. Whoa. Okay, everybody. So hopefully we'll be finished on the next video.
Do you want to start over?
Yep.
Okay.
This is hard to hold it up there.
I
like
know.
that.
Well, we have a selfie stick that I'm gonna bring up. Do you want me to do like I did this morning? She's my cherubim.
No, you can't put that on there. It's copyrighted.
Ah.
YouTube will.